developers more university, bringing to you Android series session part 2, which will be a series on Kotlin from beginners to an intermediate professional level. And without further ado, I will let you, I'll bring for you the trainers to introduce themselves and now to initiate the roadmap they have prepared for this session. So I will introduce first, then David, then Ronnie, then they will go with the presentation. So
hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, so Harun Wangereka, and also yes, I think that's all about for me. For me, it's mostly to offer community support and also maybe join the sessions once in a while and maybe help where I can. David can go next.
Yeah, sure. I hope my audio is working as it should. Hi, I'm David. Been doing Android for the last 4 years. I'm currently working at Trivago as an Android engineer. And for this Android series, I'll be one of the trainers taking you through the next 4 months. So yeah, that's me. Ronnie.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Ronnie Otieno, and I am Android developer at Ada Labs Africa, and also incoming at Amorula Solution. I'll be one of the trainers together with David. Personally, I've been doing Android for the past 2 years now, 2 years and some months, and I've been doing professionally for the past 1 year, 6 months now. Yeah, and it's been a journey, and mostly from the help of the people like David and everybody else. That's why I'm so passionate about the community and giving back, and I hope we all can learn together.
Awesome. Thank you all for the introduction. I'm sure you're thrilled. We had the best. And myself, I'm thrilled and looking forward for the session. So I will let David and Ronnie take us through the roadmap and show us what they have prepared for the series. To you, David and Ronnie.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I'll have to share. Yeah, we can like look at, we haven't like prepared the presentation or anything. It's more of a doc with our plan and what you plan to do this awesome. And I assume you can see my screen. Yeah, so yeah, it's not, doesn't look that good, but yeah, it's more of a documentation of how we are planning to tackle the next 4 months. So we are assuming people who are actually getting into this.
David, maybe you can expand a bit, increase the size.
Oh, like is it too? Is it helping? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse?
Now, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, so these are some of how we'll sort of be doing the next couple of weeks. The first few weeks, Ronnie and I will be alternating on these topics. So I think one Saturday, Ronnie will be the one leading, the other one I'll be. So it's going to be sort of like an alternating kind of thing. But we'll both be available if anyone has like questions or need help with something specific. So we'll just try and start with a bit of introduction to Kotlin, high level stuff. So learning the syntax, a bit about Kotlin collections, nullability, how we write functions, declare variables, different types in Kotlin. I don't know if Ronnie, you have anything to add in regards to what we'll be doing in intro to Kotlin.
Yeah, so on basis of Kotlin, maybe if like there's a person who have never written any code before, so in a language like Kotlin, it's called object-oriented programming, like language. So we have there are some constructs that we use, like they're called classes. We have functions. We have most things like that. So we'll go through all those, like how to create like a class where we're doing something, how to get like a method to do something. For example, a class can be something like maybe a school, and a method or function can be something like learn and maybe play, things like that. So if you've never written any code before, we go through all those. And also collection are things like to do with like list. For example, you can have a list of like that, because in every app we use, there's always a place where to show list. Like in Twitter, we have a list of Twitter and everything. Nullability is more of making sure that, for example, in programming, if you try to access something which is null, it's not, you can get an error. So we should learn how to avoid if there's an error, or to avoid that error, because it's something that really affects people. Yeah.
Yeah, and also if you've done Android with Java before, this could also be a nice avenue to switch to Kotlin or learn how to migrate from Java to Kotlin and whatever tools we have. So we'll mostly start with something, the Kotlin playground. So no need to install anything. All you need is a laptop, a PC, or whatever it is that you use to learn, and just open the Kotlin playground, and from there you can just like kick off without any overhead of installing things. But for the next weekend, we plan on doing things to do with like IDE tooling, look into some basics with Git, since we'll actually be creating try and create like real life projects which you can actually put on your portfolio. You're getting started, and yeah, you'll also need to have some Git. I think also like other than having the Android skills, it will also be good if you can also build up a bit on Git skills. Yeah, probably collaboration, if you actually do get a chance to do collaboration based work. Yeah, I don't know if Ronnie, you have anything to add on tooling.
I think I'm trying to imagine, maybe there's some people who have never written code before. So IDEs, these are things that we use to write code, then compile to build the APK that is installed in the phone. Yeah, so it's a complex application like Windows, Ubuntu, or whatever application, and you need to understand how it's built. So in Android, we use Android Studio. We need to understand how to navigate through all those. And Git, like what David has said, Git is used for collaboration. So, for example, if you are making an application, you won't be making it alone. Maybe you are making with maybe David, so he can contribute. I can contribute. So make sure that we contribute to the same code base. Yeah. So, and that we will use something called GitHub. That's where we host the code. Yeah. You'll know more about that.
Yeah. And then we'll actually, from there, I think we'll now start doing Android specific stuff. Probably we'll already have looked at the project structure once we set up the IDE this weekend and everything, and make sure like everyone is okay, set up and ready to actually build apps. So by this week, we expect like everyone has already kind of set up Android Studio. No one has issues with Android Studio or whatever IDE you're using, and they're ready to build your apps. And look at things like activities, how we create different types of projects on Android Studio, and yeah, basically just an overview of how an Android project looks like and where things go, where we put stuff, etc. So yeah, that's it for that. Be a very high level intro to Android.
Maybe I can go to this building layout. So after going through overview of the project of Android, how it goes and how it's built, we can now start looking for layout. You see, when you're on your phone, you have the layout, and we have different ways to build the layout. Yeah, so we make sure, for example, you want to build like a button, a person can click on something, you can have a DD text where you can create, put a text view and everything. I think that's what we'll go through it and provide the logic. For example, if a person click this, what should happen? Yeah, so that's the logic that we will have.
Yeah, so yeah, that will be layouts. Then navigation, this will be more of how we interact with different screens, opening other screens within your app and opening other applications in your phone. So like the email or opening a browser or the YouTube app. So such navigation related topics will be handled in this session. And yeah, then from there we go to the next one.
Yeah, so then on 31st, we'll now work with lists. Like I said, almost every app has a list. And you have a list, you need to how to display the list in the application. In Android, it's because you're seeing circular view, it's quite I don't say like it's complex, but it's quite I don't know how to explain it, but you need to know something called recycler view and adapter, a view holder that lets you use the list. Like exactly what it does is it recycle the layouts that you have used before. So we can just build, for example, edit text once, then we use it over and over and over and over until our list is exhausted. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, we'll like touch on recycler view, why we use recycler view to create lists, what we probably, I might talk a bit of what we used before recycler view and all this adapter and view holder pattern. Yeah, so I think when I was also learning Android, this recycler view kind of went over my head the first time. So for the next week, we might do a recap if anyone needs a recap on lists and working with lists. And how to also, we can also like enhance whatever is on our list by adding images. And also as we add images to that, we'll also look at how we add dependencies to the project as we tackle the adding of images and the likes. So yeah, that's mostly what we'll be doing that weekend. And from there, we'll start looking at things to do with persistence.
Yeah, so in persistence, like if you have an app, you need to store some things that can be used later. For example, if you log into Facebook, you don't need to log in again and again and again. It stores your login in the Facebook app. So we can use things like shared preferences. These are like, it's called key value. Like you just save something, for example, for example, you want to save Ronnie, just call Ronnie, you save Ronnie, for example, key as 1, then name as Ronnie. If you want to come back to get Ronnie, you just query from the key, which is 1, thing like that. And we also use ORM, like for the so this is like more of a fully fledged database that can be used to create to store so many things and a lot of things, and can be used to query in different ways. If you have been programming, you have heard about the SQL and everything. So in Room, we'll be using Room mostly abstraction layer over SQLite. SQLite is more is kind of like PostgreSQL and MySQL and everything, but it's built like in Android. So we'll use that to, for example, like insert data, query data back, and all those. Also, we'll use something called live data that you can get real-time changes in the DB with the live data. So you can update the user, show the user that something has changed in the DB, like that.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll try and do all that persistent stuff. We probably we'll just try and keep it as simple as possible. And yeah, from there we'll try and look at Firebase, probably an overview of Firebase. So I think like this persistent and Firebase stuff might, also had the feeling it might spill over to probably this weekend. But if it doesn't, we can start looking at things like JSON and how we pass and read JSON and working with like real APIs. So yeah, I don't know if when you have anything I've missed. Yeah.
Maybe if scroll down, you can just say things that we may go into if we have like time. So yeah, we may go things apart from Room that like we had already did earlier on is part of Android Jetpack. We may go and maybe go deep into Android Jetpack using like vModel, then live data again, yeah. And also dependency injection. These are like more of advanced topic, and they will depend on how perform on the other ones, and if we'll really get to this part. Then there's something called material design. It's just a design guide from Google that shows us how to design our app, like to make it look good. We just don't throw colors. We don't just throw like bold, italics, and everything. We need to use it. Then the test for any software, for any good build software, we must have tests. We must get the functionalities. You can't just push code out there without testing. We also do something on testing. There UI testing that will test user interaction. For example, what happens if the user click this, if this thing is really visible to the user, because we know Android have very different, for example, large screen, small screen, everything. Then there are unit tests. This mostly used to test individual part, a unit. For example, only a method or a function. For example, we have a method that is taking two numbers, A and B, and adding them. We want to make sure that this function is really adding this thing, not subtracting or not doing anything funny. Yeah. And we also touch on notification. We all know notification, like your WhatsApp. If there is any message that's a new message, you get notified. We'll touch on that too. Networking with the API retrofit. For every app, not every app, but most of the app, we have a server somewhere that is communicating with your app. Like for example, Twitter's a server that stores your tweets, and if you query them, you can get your tweet back. So that's what API is. That's it will allow us to we'll create maybe a fake server and something like that. Now we can query. Maybe we can get data, also post that server, and vice versa. And also coroutine. This is very it's a Kotlin feature. It's mostly allow us to query things synchronously, and mostly it's used to, for example, if you want to go from main thread to background thread and something like that. And we know in Android we have main thread that should be what it should be doing every time is to create views, to draw all those text view, anything you want. And then now if you want to query for database, you need to use a different thread. Do that. Also, if you want to call API, use a different thread to go that. So we go on those.
Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of like our rough plan on how we're planning on tackling the next 4 months. Yeah, if people actually want like a more of a solid guide, I think we can polish this up. And this is more of, for us, the tutors, to use to come up with things like tasks and things to do in regards to the weekend. We'll be doing this. So at the end of each session, we will come up with like some activity to do, to build. And yeah, this is more of to reinforce the knowledge, or also because you also can't cover pretty much everything in an hour or something. So this will be more of to solidify your knowledge and point you to other resources which can help you out. So yeah, probably we'll also have to come up with a much more a readable format of this overview, but for the people who are on this course. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else we can add other than that.
Yeah.
And that's
Or if
some
there's
of my
any
questions. Yeah.
question, on that.
Okay. Thank you, David and Ronnie. That was a great walkthrough through the roadmap. So I think if you guys have questions, now is the time to drop them in the chat section. So I think we have one question from Brins Mbaka. Is it advisable to code along with you guys?
Yeah, Brins. You can code along with us, and I'm very sure this whatever will be recorded, so you can also check back on the YouTube for the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it will be more of the technical side. So we'll also just be, you'll see us also like do it kind of live. Yeah, so that even if we run into any issues which you might run into while doing the same tasks, then we sort it out, and yeah, it's a win-win for everyone who's on the course.
Okay, any other question? Also on that, I'd love to add that if you have any concern or query as you're building your project or as you're learning, I shared the link to our WhatsApp group in the chat section, so maybe you can join. I think most of the communications will be done there, and also most of the help will be given. Okay. Any other question, comment, remark? Okay, so I think I'll pick someone or a random person to give us to tell us rather how they feel about the session or how they feel about the Android series too. So I'll pick Simon. So I'll give you permission to speak. Simon Muiruri. Hi, Simon.
You just said allow me to prepare.
Yeah, if you also feel since yeah, we are here for you to learn.
Yeah.
And if you also feel like there's something which we haven't
That-
covered, or something you'd like to,
Yeah.
I don't know, you're curious or want to know, also like let us know. We'd appreciate that feedback.
Ivy,
Hello. Yes.
yes, how are you?
Fine. Thank you.
Okay, well, sorry, I was not ready, so I had to search for and mute some other things that are making noise around me. Well, okay, I'm Simon. For those who don't know me, Moirori, I'm from DSC Chuka. I'm the DSC lead, and Ivy is my friend. Well, I'm so excited. I've been learning with you. I'm an Android developer for almost 1.5 years old. Yeah, I guess I'm headed to 2 years. And well, whenever I see guys like David, Ronnie, and Aaron, I know there's something new I'm going to learn. So I'll be learning with you guys, and I'm excited. Congrats, Ivy, and thank you so much for organizing such a thing.
Okay, you're welcome. So thank you, Simon, for that. I think I can give who else has permission? Brings. Okay. So if I give you guys permission, you can try refreshing your browser and see if you're able to speak. Daniel Moy.
Ivy, did you invite me to speak?
You can say something.
I think I'm really looking forward to this. I think I'll be joining in to also learn from Odari and Ronnie. I think they're perfectly the best people to take, charge of this course. And I think I wish, no, I can't say I wish everyone all the best. It's not an exam. But yeah, I hope a lot of people learn. I hope you guys learn a lot from these two guys because they have a lot to offer and they have a lot to teach. So, yeah.
Okay. Prince, you could try maybe refreshing your browser. I think he actually left the call. Anyone else who feels like they need to say something, you could maybe use the chat section, and then I could give you permission to speak.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I couldn't unmute for some reason. So I'm really excited for this period where we'll be taken from, some of us will be taken from knowing zero to at least having some knowledge on Android, and also there is always something to learn. So I'm looking forward to make new friends and learn together. And yeah, I have a feeling that this will be a great step towards people who want to enter into maybe Android development, to be specific. So I'm grateful for being here. I'm grateful for David, Ronnie, the guys who have hosted the DSC Mo University that have hosted this. And yeah, thank you. That's all I had to say.
Okay. Thank you, Prince. That was awesome. Kasau Manzia. Hello. So just asking, will we pay or are the sessions free? The sessions are definitely free. All DSC sessions are free. Also, yeah, I don't think you guys need to pay for anything. The only thing we'll need from you is maybe your commitment. And yeah. Anyone else with a remark or comment?
Can I ask David and Ronnie a question on the nice to haves? So will that be done, or it depends if we have time?
Yeah, so this I think depends with how we manage to cover this content. If we actually feel like this content can be covered quick within the session, then sure, we can always like squeeze in one of the nice to haves within the sessions which feel like they took less time. That's one way of doing it. I don't know if
Okay.
if you actually run out of, if you actually like do not get to exhaust all this, I think, I don't know, I'm not sure if another Android series will be there, but we can always try and provide resources to learning the nice to haves after the whole series is done. Or like once people like have, basically we're just trying to solidify on some basics, then yeah, then I think the nice to haves can be like, once the basics are solidified, then the nice to haves can always be, yeah, someone can always, it can be like an extra assignment for yourself to go and pick up. Or since we have like 2-week breaks in between these sessions, this from one session to the other, yeah, if someone has the time to squeeze in the nice to have and figure out what it's all about, then yeah, I think it's more of 50% us, 50% you. Yeah, but if someone is already looking into such things and you need help, you can always like throw them in the group or just ask us and we'll help with whatever experience we have on that specific topic.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I think we'll mainly use the WhatsApp group even after the session so that you guys get more materials for your learning. Was there another first series? And if yes, is this a continuation? Okay. There was no Android series 1. We had a mentorship program for Android like last year till early this year. And then this is the first Android series we're having. But we chose the name too because we felt like this is just the second Android training. So yeah. It's not a continuation, so we are starting from scratch. Candy says she thinks she might start learning Kotlin. Karibu, Candy.
Kenyan.
Okay. There being no other question or remark, I think we can end the session, right?
Yeah, if there's no